really excited. I'm bringing you my new talk show and podcast. What's up, everyone? You have been Unfiltered tonight with Faith Adorne, and I just want to thank everybody for watching. This is episode 13. As you see, I'm booming, I'm moving, and we have a great show tonight. You know, I always come with the resources, but tonight we're not going to be doing the resources. I have a special guest, and I also have two online audience for the segment Entrepreneur Journey to Success. And I'm going to introduce my guest. And then I'm also going to bring some information, as y'all know, every week I come with information in regards to if someone is interested in starting their own podcast or their own talk show, and I kind of give you information in regards to the platforms. So tonight, let me introduce my guest. He is a community and economic developer out in South Georgia, Brunswick, Georgia. Everyone, welcome my special guest, Travis.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Now listen, you guys, tonight Travis is going to be coming with the resources. So like even with my online audience, I've actually gave them the information to tell them to be transparent.
Right.
Travis is basically in charge of doing the community and economic. He's a community and economic developer. He's going to be bringing some resources on entrepreneurship and just discussing our topic tonight, which our topic is in regards to how does the culture influence entrepreneurship in the US. And we have some other different topics that we're going to talk about, like in regards to how does housing affect um, low income families and just how the culture affects low income families and entrepreneurship. So if you're here, you know you guys can come through the chat and ask questions. We're here. But other than that, you have been unfiltered with Faith Adorn, and I'm excited about this show tonight. So, I also have my online guest. Her name is Sage Blue. She's also a podcaster, and she's a counselor at a HIV clinic. And she does a lot of other stuff too. So let me introduce my online guest. What's up, Sage?
Nothing much, nothing much. Just excited to be here. And first and foremost, I like to say that I am very proud of you. It's been a long time coming, so keep doing what you're doing.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
I send
Thank
many
you.
blessings to you.
Thank you.
Hmm
Look.
Absolutely.
Okay. And then my next online guest is Hood Stars. He's an entrepreneur and he's also an artist. He's going to be coming back in June for his own interview as an artist and an entrepreneur. So he's on my show tonight as an online guest. He has some questions for my special guest tonight. So everyone, let's introduce Hood Stars.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Keep doing your thing, Faith.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So Travis, basically, first I want to say thank you for coming on my live because I already know that
Right,
you're busy. You know, I know
right.
you have a lot going on. I can't wait to get you to unpack everything tonight with our topic because I know it's going to be huge. I'm excited about this topic. You're excited, so I know it's going to be a good thing. But I want to say something to everybody that's watching my show tonight. Entrepreneurship is not easy. I work a 9 to 5 and then I come on my live and I do my own production. I do my own behind the scenes. I'm the host, I'm the producer, I'm the creator, the writer, and I still work a 9 to 5. And I just want to inspire someone tonight, whoever may be watching, and just let you know the closer that you get to excellence within your life, the more friends you may feel that you may be losing. It may not So I can't say they're friends. Let's just say they may be associates. You might have thought they was friends. But people love you when you're at an average because it makes them comfortable. So when you're doing something totally different than they're doing, you might start seeing friends or family members falling off because you're trying to better your life. Don't
Yeah.
get discouraged from that because when you have to pursue greatness, it makes people that don't have the same, goals like you may have in life uncomfortable. But make them uncomfortable because you're not getting any younger, you're getting older. So it's about you doing the things that you need to do to succeed in life. Just be prepared to lose some people while you're on your journey. And this is why I created this segment, the entrepreneurship journey to success, because it's a journey. You're gonna have a testimony.
Yeah.
And I've lost people where just like you just wake up like, why they not answering my calls, or why they not talking to me, or what did I do? I'm always there. Like I don't understand. And you didn't do anything. You're just making people uncomfortable, or maybe God might have heard things that you didn't hear. So he's moving them out your life. I don't know what you think, Travis.
Hey, listen. I just wrote something down that I usually have to have a conversation with entrepreneurs all the time. And hey, to be honest with you, man, I gotta have this conversation with myself. And you know, just to piggyback off of what you said, um, God gave that vision to you. He didn't give it to the people that surround you.
Right.
Amen.
Right.
So if they don't understand it, or if they don't recognize it, or it wasn't meant for them, it was meant for you. You see what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
Yeah.
if I came up and gave you $100, would you waste time on trying to make sure that people understood why I gave you $100?
You can't do that.
So
Right.
you have to treat the vision that God gave you like He just gave you $100. I don't care if you don't get it. I got something that's valuable, right?
Speak on it.
So, like I said, I'm talking to entrepreneurs all the time. I'm speaking it into myself because there's always a point that you're growing and you're going, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, and us as a culture and as a people, the first thing we want to do is take our folks with us, right? You know,
Mhm.
it just
First thing
what it is.
too.
It's like, yo, I'm on, we on, right? Uh,
Yeah.
And that's what I don't understand because I'm
yeah,
like, what is like what do it be? Because it's like, listen, you doing your own thing, like how Sage is a podcaster like me. Y'all might think like, well, this is the honest truth. Sage is a podcaster like me, but she's on my podcasting platform.
right,
I promote her podcast, she promotes my podcast.
Mm.
Travis,
That's it.
I used to promote other people that have podcasts before now I've always produced stuff for other people, and I would assist other people with creating their content.
right.
But the people that I used to promote for and share that stuff, when I started my podcast, they don't even talk to me no more.
That's right.
Damn.
Yeah,
Like they do not talk to me no more.
yeah, yeah.
I had one person unfollow me on Facebook. Well, I had a bunch of people unfollow me on Facebook, and this is the truth. But I had one person that unfollowed me on Facebook that kind of hurt my feelings because I used to promote this person's stuff. So I'm not gonna say if it's a woman or guy, like I would, like I say it with my chest, but we're gonna
Right,
keep it
right,
Facebook. You see
right,
what I'm saying? And this person is in the production like me, and I've given them many platforms, and I was excited, and I remember getting ready to tag this person with my flyer because I was doing my launch.
right.
Oh, okay.
I found out they was no longer on my page.
Mm,
Mm.
Now I was blocked too. Now they had just tagged me on some other stuff, and we had just talked. But
right,
no one knew because you know how you move silent. I was moving silent when I launched my podcast.
right, right,
It
right.
just came out overnight. I started promoting it. And I was promoting and promoting it. Long story short, this person unfollowed me and blocked me because I couldn't even tag them. So with me, I'm still gonna I'm gonna pull your card. So
Yeah,
I reached out to this person like, listen, I just tagged you. I don't see you. How is that? I'm like, yo, I'm having my launch party. Now my business partner, um, is was DMX former's manager, and the person came to my event just to see him.
Wow.
Came to the launch party.
Wow.
Didn't s- I'm still not this person's Facebook friend anymore. I still gave them the address because I'm like, I'm not gonna let the days are short, Travis. And what I look at is like, whatever issue you got with me, I don't have an issue with you.
That's right.
My resources, if it can help you blossom and you feel like you just don't like me now, because when you was doing the stuff that I'm doing
Right.
now,
Right.
That's
you
Right.
know, I don't care. Like,
But
I
you
share your
know,
stuff. I don't
but
care.
I was to say this, right? Um, it's only business.
yeah.
It's
It's
on. I'm glad you said that because
only business.
that's
We
how I look at life with it.
we 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 have to understand um, that that's what it is. Like we have to play chess,
And I can play
right,
chess.
and not checkers.
This ain't
So,
checkers game.
so, so things have to take shape. Things have to take form, right?
Yeah.
Um, in economic development, it's kind of funny because I say, my job is a job that no one knows what you do except for the people that do what I do, right? And so, just to kind of give you a couple of statistics, is Georgia has 159 counties. It has 570 so odd cities. Georgia has been ranked number one state to do business in for 8 years
Mm,
in a row. Okay,
Mm.
there's only about nine of us, maybe 10, because I may have forgotten one.
right.
Right?
And if
Out of
you're watching, whoever the person he forgot, if you're watching, he didn't do it on purpose.
yeah, yeah. Blame it on my heart, not my mind. Right? So, uh, but the deal is that out of the billions and billions of dollars that individuals like myself generate for the state of Georgia, there's only, like I said, maybe 10 of us, right? That look like all of us that's on the phone call here. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Mm.
So when you play in an arena of that size and you play in the arena of actually trying to attract the StreamYard platform and their data center to a community, and they're saying, hey, listen, we're planning on spending $120 million on a data platform so you and millions of other people can create your
True.
your stream. These are the conversations that I'm having every single day, right? And I'm very fortunate to be not only in the room but at the table to kind of have these conversations.
Yeah.
And so the one thing that I always get from them, um, and those groups of individuals that are doing this size business is it is what it is, right?
I always say that even in my posts,
Yeah,
it is what it is. Like, and
yeah.
that's how I look at it because it's like we all can make it. If we, we whatever our own vision and goals is, you can make it if it's something
Keep
that you
in
want to
mind,
do.
keep in mind what I said. God gave it to you,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
He
And
didn't
you
give
just
it
be
to
wanting
you.
to help everybody with it, and you can't
Now
because
we got to be honest at times, right? Because when He give it to us, we try to go out and share our cookies with everybody else.
Yeah.
yeah,
He gave
amen,
us the perfect amount of cookies for us to take this journey.
yes,
So when we came in and decided to add everybody else to the picture that He didn't tell us not to,
mhm,
still got to take the same journey, but
Yeah.
it's because of us that we got less food to eat on the journey. So we're gonna get a little hungry. We're gonna get a
hey,
little thirsty. It's going these are those times where things feel rough and you shouldn't feel like you should be doing it. And
mhm,
that Lord have mercy, what did I do? All of that.
yes,
Because most of the times that comes from taking your eyes off of what he told you to do because you said, you know what, I'm gonna turn my partner on because they got the camera, they got the production, they got the big wigs, they got all.
mhm.
Lord ain't told you to go over there and do that.
Yeah, you know what? And I
Yeah.
think, and not I think
I
you're right.
agree.
What happens is he makes them. You're thinking that they're just stop talking to you. it ain't them, it's God, because they're not a part of your journey. And that's
Yeah.
where entrepreneur journey to success came from, because of what
Absolutely.
you're saying.
Absolutely.
But
So,
It do feel like you lose a lot of people
my
though.
viewers that's tuned in right now,
yes.
I want to let everyone know that Travis, he develops programs and goals and plans, and he implements them basically within his city.
So I
And
can tell them a
he's,
little bit more about it if you want me to. Okay.
yeah, if you could do it more.
So, so every city, well, you know what? Let me say this: every state and every county or every parish generally is going to have a Travis in your community, and that person's job is to do three things. Right? That person's job is to attract business, retain business, and drive a healthy tax base, right? So
Okay.
everybody got to pay a little bit of taxes in order for the firefighter to show up, in order for things to run in your community, right? Um, uh, so that is my job. When you see Publix come to your town, when you see Walmart, if you see a bunch of warehousing now, housing subdivisions come to your community, 9 times out of 10, the Travis in your community is the person that had actually sat down. Keep this in mind. I want
You're
you.
a liaison, basically.
I'm yes. I
You're the liaison.
I am the. So you know what's even better than that? Keep this in mind, and that's why I love talking to platforms like yours. Is that it's my job to sit down now and plan your community 5 years and 10 years in advance. So I know right now what side of town we're going to be spending money building roads, attracting grocery stores, attracting real estate investments, where we're going to be shifting into the community, right?
Hmm.
Um, so that's our job. So if you don't get anything from this phone call tonight, everyone should Google the county they live in or the city that they live in, economic development director.
I told both of them that tonight to do that before they
Yeah,
came on the show.
yeah. When you do that, you're going to find out that there's a host of resources and a host of partnerships that well, our whole job is to give you stuff, right? Because I want your business in my community. Your business is going to hire people. Your business is going to generate a tax. So, what does that mean? If I have to lend you the money to buy your building, if I have to grant you money to buy equipment, if I have to abate some property taxes, if you're going to be purchasing a building and employing people, that's what I do, right? So up in Atlanta, you guys have the best one up in Atlanta. I talk with them all the time, and that's Invest Atlanta.
So quick question.
Yes.
Basically, do you encourage developers to build affordable housing also within the communities also?
If you're a good developer,
Okay.
if you're a good developer, not everyone is a great developer, and I must. I've made that mistake early in my career,
Mhm.
um, because once again, the goal is to either create a tax base, okay, um, and a little tidbit that I always like to give out. So, what I do, it is a science, right? And it can get a little boring. So, what I try to do is give individuals um, these little tidbits to make what I do make sense.
Okay.
So, no matter where you are in the country, right? We can be in Michigan, we can be out in Cali, we can be in Atlanta. Your local community can only collect taxes in three ways. That's it. Okay.
What are the three ways?
These three ways are going to be a corporate tax, from Popeyes to the local warehouse down the street, right? To the mom and pop that has the little cafe or the pizza shop, right?
Mhm.
Residential. So your
Mhm.
property tax, right? Every year, everybody got to pay the property taxes.
Mhm.
Now, this is where the Black community, this is why this is very important. The last way that your community can collect taxes is called fees, fines, and miscellaneouses.
Right.
I want you to take a guess what fees, fines, and miscellaneouses are.
Um, it,
Um,
would that be towards like all the taxes and what people spend?
Well, fees, fines, and miscellaneouses.
Give it to me then, so I
Let's start you
teach
in
me,
with me, man.
educate me.
All right. So fees, fines, and miscellaneouses means if you get a speeding ticket, that's a fine. If you get a parking ticket, you get a fine. If you get put on probation, those are fees that's associated with the courts, right?
yeah.
Makes sense.
Do a
That
traffic
makes sense.
stop, those are courts. So if you look at your community and the county that you live in, imagine there's 3 roommates in a house. And in order to run and operate that house, you need to generate $1,000.
Okay.
$1,000 will keep the phone on, it'll keep the rent going, it'll keep the,
Power, water, gas, all that
you
stuff.
need, your 3 roommates need to generate $1,000. Now look at your community and think about the sides of town in your community, right? There's a side of town in your community that's heavily industrial. There's a side of your
Okay.
town that's heavy residential. There's a side of your town that's pretty blighted, right? And underserved. Okay. So this is what happens. When you're collecting taxes for your community, it is very rare that you're going to find a community that can survive just off one thing, right? Whole bunch of houses. Can't
Oh.
survive just off property taxes. So you got to have a healthy mix, right? Uh,
Hmm.
when you go to a certain side of town and the streets are clean and you got Starbucks and you got the $40 pizzas and the fancy sidewalks, right?
Hmm.
That side of town is surviving. Like, once again, we got the 3 partners that's in a home, right?
Hmm.
That side of town is surviving off of property taxes and business taxes.
Okay.
If you go to the south side of town and you don't see all that fancy stuff, you don't see all of that that's happening, right?
Hmm.
You got low rental rates, you got blighted properties, right? You got high
Hmm.
crime. Guess how that side of town has to participate in covering the operational expenses?
Is that why the taxes is always higher over there, like with the store taxes and stuff like that? The
That's why
gas.
you got to have fees, fines, and miscellaneouses.
Mm,
Wow. Cause
yeah.
you
That's
know you
why
go to certain areas, you like, I'm not getting gas over here. I'm not, but like,
Yeah.
cause it's like, why is it an extra $2 or a dollar? Cause where
It
I'm
be
at on
high
my side
somewhere
is
else.
it's
Yeah.
well, all right.
cheaper.
And part of that is this: when you're in a community, everyone will participate. You have to participate. Why? Because the police got to show up, the firefighters got to show up when you call. When it rains and the storm water that got to run down the storm, the utilities have to work. So everyone has to participate. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Yeah.
So if the only way our community at times can participate is only through fees, fines, and miscellaneous, that is the way that we're going to have to participate. That's why you can go to a little city on the north side of town and one kid gets 2 months probation, but you could be somewhere else and he gets
Oh,
10 years probation.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying?
wow.
Mhm.
That's why you can go to one side of town and you can just drive all willy-nilly. It ain't no roadblocks, soccer moms getting wasted in the middle of the day, but they make
Right, right, right.
you go to another side of town, you already know, come Thursday night or Friday night, they got roadblocks.
What Tyler Perry say about Kanye's? Don't you go to Kanye's?
Right.
What
So
did he say, Medea? Medea say?
so that's the thing, right? That's the thing.
Yeah.
So that little one-on-one message um leads into economic development and it leads into entrepreneurship, right? Because it is truly up to us, the entrepreneurs of the world, right? It's up to us as Black people of the world that understand our own culture.
Mhm.
I'm glad you said that. I wanted to
Yeah.
ask you a question.
Yes,
Your perspective, being a professional,
yes.
how would you say the culture influences entrepreneurship?
Heavy, heavy. Um, I mean, you got guys that's making billions of dollars just off of our culture alone, right? Now, let me tell you something. This didn't start yesterday, right?
Right.
If you Google enough pages and you read enough books and you start to understand that all of the Black inventors that invented things, you know, that their invention was commoditized and their invention was used by a whole nother group of people to take credit for and to sell. So it's not a thing, right? I mean, it's not a thing that's new, but we also have to understand that we have to take responsibility and we have to take action for our culture, right? Because the truth is this: if someone comes into our culture, commoditize whatever that is, clothing, fashion, music, and they come in, commoditize it, make money off of it, they don't give it back to us in our community.
I just seen
Yeah.
some, which I've
They
been new, but I
take
just
it to theirs.
go ahead. I don't know. Was Sage? Was somebody else saying something?
Oh,
Oh, okay. I thought I heard somebody else. I guess it was like an echo, but
no, they
I
take it back to their community,
yeah.
right? And the deal is this: we would take it back to our community because that's what we just inherently would do.
Yeah.
So,
So
but that's how it affects the lower income areas though, because I would think, and tell me if I'm wrong. Yes, they're doing right taking it to their community, but they're coming to the low income areas to open up their businesses, and it's the low income people that live within the city that's purchasing everything, but it's nothing going to like the youth, it's nothing going to the YMCA, it's nothing going to entrepreneurship. Am I wrong, or
no, you're.
isn't that affecting?
Let me give you a very harsh reality. We not they people. So what?
Chess?
So it's up to us to make sure we got the credit. It's up to us to make sure that we got the money. It's up to us to go make sure that we open up the convenience stores. We open up the laundromats. We open up the barbershops. We open up the restaurants. We
What are
open.
resources?
Well, so I was, for me that's relative, right? That's
Yeah.
so you got to understand. So I'm. Well, man, we can go on for a while with this one. So
Okay.
So, as a hobby, I love Black history and being a
Okay.
Black historian, especially when it comes to business, right? Um, that's just kind of what I do, right? So, it's 2022. And whenever I hear someone say, well, where are the resources? And I said, it's right here.
Okay.
This is where your resource is. You pick it up, and you Google. Matter of fact, you pick it up, and the first thing you do, I want you to do, is swipe away Instagram, swipe away Facebook, swipe away Snapchat, and Google whatever you're trying to do, and Google whatever funding source of what. How do I start? Blase, blase, blase. Right.
Okay.
And the first thing that we all have to understand is that we're going to have to start with some sort of credit situation, some sort of money situation, right?
Yeah.
So with
That's
that,
my problem.
so there's an answer and an app for all of that, right?
So Hood Stars, I'll let you ask Travis some questions.
Yes.
Yeah, basically, I got a brand. I got a clothing brand. And it's this, I'm basically trying to get it out there. I didn't get that PP loan, and, and I didn't get none of that. You know,
Right.
and
Right, you did right.
You're right. Right.
You did right.
I started. I'm starting from the bottom.
That's right. That's
And
not bad. That's not bad.
You
And
appreciate it. We all like that. Sage, we all at the bottom, starting at the bottom to the top, right?
Absolutely. I'm good on the PPP loan.
and
Somebody got to get
then
their money back.
business credit not all the way up, you know.
So I'm gonna
So
say this and I want you to. So what I want you to know that what I'm about to tell you, Faith knows. Like she, like this ain't no bull. This is real talk, right?
Yeah. He's
So
gonna be transparent with you guys.
so believe it or not, where you at to me, right? To bankers, you're in a really good place. You thought of an idea, you created an idea, you are actually printing that idea, manufacturing, because in my world, so in your world, you would say, hey, I created a brand and I'm producing this t-shirt, this hoodie, this. In my world, that's just known as manufacturing and warehousing. So in order to be in business, the one of the things that you're going to have to do is know the lingo of where you fit in the apparel sector of the market, right? Because the truth is this: um, will a bank like CIT give you money because you have a brand? No, but they will give you a receivable line of credit in order to buy
Mm.
all of your raw goods.
Whoa,
With a
okay.
120-day payback time on it, right? You know, with things of that nature. So when you start to talk about and think about your business, it's just like music, right? There is the artistry and the music to it. Then there's the business to it, and understanding the business side will drive everything else.
yeah,
So understanding that what you do is actually manufacturing
Mm.
and production. If you produce enough of it, and even if it's sitting in the corner of your apartment or your
Mm.
house, that's warehousing, right?
Supply and demand.
So the money that you're looking for isn't for a brand, it's for manufacturing, warehousing, and production.
yep.
Okay.
First thing. So the other thing I want to tell you is this. Um, a lot of people start their businesses thinking about we are going to get rich. We are going to.
Yeah, it ain't that. It don't.
Well, what happens is this: if you don't get rich fast enough, you think what you're doing is not good. That's not
Yeah,
true.
that's not true.
Sometimes.
Well, what? Well, let me give you one. Let me give
Yeah.
you one better
Because
than
it
that.
don't happen overnight, Hood Stars.
No.
When you think about Tyler Perry, it took him 18 years for
Mhm.
before we knew who he was with his first theater, his first play. 18 years. He was sleeping out his car. He was homeless, using up all his money. That's a lot of time for people to probably say, let it go and
Right.
let your dream go. It ain't going to work.
Now,
And
let me give you one that's
he
even
passed
better.
up a lot of people.
Yeah, he did. He did. Now, let me give you one even better than that, right? Um, I'm assuming you have a 9 to 5 like the rest of us, right?
No, self-employed.
Self-employed. Oh, cool. That's even better. So, if someone came to you tomorrow and said, "Hey, man, listen, I like what you're doing, but I got an opportunity, right? You can make your own hours. You can work remote. You can make your own hours. I'll give you 170 a year. Would you take that?
170,000 a year.
170,000 a year.
Yeah, I can work with it.
I'll give you one better than that. What's your number? What if they said I'll give you 200,000 a year?
I'm going to negotiate it first because I'm a negotiator. To
Well, let's
see if I can get a little bit more,
well let's just say
but I'm going to take it though.
let's just say let's just honestly let's just say okay. They say I'm gonna give you 200 grand a year, right? That's a reasonable executive pay. You know
Hmm.
what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So if I told you if you only just focused on making $150,000 a year or $100,000 a year on your own with your brand, that should bring things into perspective. Because if I will give you $200,000 a year you at least have to do my work 8 to 10 hours a day.
Mhm.
Then come and put in some hours in on your own stuff.
On your entrepreneurship on
You're
that life.
willing to trade that, right?
Yeah.
So let's look at it and go, well, damn, if I can do 100, 150 a year, I'm good. I'm all right. Now keep in mind, when you start talking about eventually you're going to have to do some sort of business with your bank, right? Or with a funding source, an angel investor, a hedge fund, somebody. You're going to have to start doing business with someone.
I'm looking for some big investors too, though. Too.
What do you, so listen, so listen what I'm about to tell you. It doesn't matter, brother, if you sell 10 shirts or if you sell 100 shirts. The right investor will look at what you're doing and say, okay, if he can sell 10 shirts, if I invest the right dollar amount into this project, that means that he can sell 100,000 shirts.
That is that's true.
But you got to have a test case and a track record. So those one or twosies, threesies that you're selling, you document those, man. Once again, you got to think about it. It's almost like being an artist, right? You want to
Yes.
get them sound scans, and it
Yeah.
don't matter if you sell it to a dude at the gas station or if
Yeah.
you sell a stream. You be like, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. I got to scan this. you
Yeah.
know,
Right. And we just talked about that earlier, Hood Stars, when I was telling you about the streams with Instagram and
Yeah.
Facebook. We just
so
talked about that. So I was telling him that the streams, like, numbers is everything. If you want somebody else to invest in you, they want to look and see what you've been
numbers,
doing.
numbers are everything. So the first thing is first is is your goal is to have the number one brand within a certain sector, within a certain market. That is the goal.
I
But
see it can be $100 million brand. It's $100 million brand.
absolutely,
It's a
absolutely,
hundred million
Pick it
dollar
up.
brand.
absolutely. So
Okay, you
that's
guys, quick question because it's 9:38. I try to stay because as you see, with Travis, you know, because you're a speaker, so you do it all the time. I want everybody to get all the information in before
okay.
we end. And I just had some new people that came in one of my other platforms. So for the new people that's tuned in watching right now, I am interviewing a community and economic developer. His name is Travis Stegall, and he's out in Brunswick, Georgia. And he basically his duties is a whole lot. In regards to developing programs within the community. And for people that's tuned in now, let me show you who I'm interviewing right now. This is Travis Stegall. You guys can follow him on Instagram. As you see, he has a lot of stuff going on. We got to talk about the solar panels.
Yeah, man, I forgot about that one.
Yeah. So you see, I did my homework on you.
That's right. So yeah,
People that's on Instagram, please come to my YouTube channel, Unfiltered with Faith Adorne. Um, Give me 1 second, you guys. I have to do a quick commercial.
okay.
Um, if anyone that's in the sports that's tuned in and you a boxer and you would like to get some interviews, reach out to Retro Chris Media. And this is Retro Chris Media. Quick second, you guys. You guys, you are tuned. We are back with Unfiltered with Faith Adorn. And so, Travis, Quick question. I know Sage has a couple questions.
Yes.
Sage, if you can go ahead and the panel is yours, the floor is yours.
All right. Well, thank you for the opportunity, Mr. Stegall.
Thank you.
I am a counselor at AIDS Atlanta, which we are all over the country. But what we face is um, we face a challenge of getting people to get tested in rural areas, and businesses out there to fully fund us because we're grant oriented,
Yep.
and to fund us and things of that nature. What would you tell me would be a great strategy to get rural area demographic, the people to come out to test and also to get funding for our organization?
So one of the things I said when I first got started that Georgia has 159 counties, right?
Mm-hmm.
Each of those, if you're with AIDS Atlanta, I'm pretty sure somewhere, you guys are probably applying for some CDBG dollars from the city of Atlanta. And these are dollars that are just kind of allocated to nonprofits, just period social services.
Mm-hmm.
As you get out into rural Georgia, that becomes even more relevant. So one of the things that you want to do, well, two things that you want to do. First of all, you want to go to the Communities Foundation in those rural areas, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that Communities Foundation probably covers a region because, of course, it's a lot smaller. I think we have our coastal region, our Communities Foundation is Coastal Empire. That's what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
So, that may go from Savannah all the way over to a town called Charlton before you get into Jacksonville. So the second thing, outside of the Communities Foundation, you want to have those cities give you dollars from their community development block grant funding.
Mm.
Okay. That's as far as funding. And I believe that is enough money that will help you sustain in those rural areas and rural towns, right? It's just, they always have more money than they need.
Right.
And some places don't even know that they can even qualify for the money to give you the money. So someone needs to go out and start having these conversations. I'm originally from Decatur in Atlanta, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've only been here for 5.5 years. There is a difference in healthcare
Mm-hmm.
in rural Georgia. It's almost dire. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking about the type of healthcare that if you're not a Black doctor, they don't even touch you during an exam. Okay.
Mm.
You come out just as good as sitting at home and having a telemedicine sitting in the office, right? So there's probably a really good reason why a majority of these individuals probably aren't going out and getting tested, because the person who's probably requesting it just don't look like them. I can't.
Yeah, gotcha.
Understand also, rural Georgia is as beautiful as it is, as wonderful as I'm enjoying it. I'm left it behind.
Mm-hmm.
I'm left it behind in several small cities and several small towns, especially in Georgia. So understand this also about Georgia. When you think about rural Georgia, most of the time you're probably thinking that it's rural Georgia, it's Caucasian, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what you're generally thinking. Well, Georgia has this awesome dynamic, is that the rural county portion of Georgia but the metropolitan city portions are generally highly populated with African Americans.
Mm.
If you came here, you wouldn't know that the city of Brunswick is 64% population is Black.
Wow.
No, I didn't know that.
Exactly, right?
That's good. It's more
But
Blacks.
when you get to the county and you start to add everybody in,
Mm-hmm.
those numbers kind of get skewed. And so the biggest thing that I would suggest is that if you guys are going to spread throughout Georgia, in which I would love to see it, And if anybody called me from your organization, I will walk them through that, because I believe
That's
that,
what I'm talking about.
well, I believe that we should have a larger spread than where we're at.
Right.
Right.
You know, I had a mentor one time that just told me, "Hey, man, go where you want it." it was it
It
was
was that it was
it was
just that
just
easy.
simple. It was just this. Hey, man, listen. If you were to do a geo track of an area that's away from your area, that's overseas,
Mm-hmm.
they will probably buy a ton of your shirts. Why? Because there's not a lot of competition in that sector. So do you really care about selling your t-shirts in Michigan, or do you really care about selling your shirts, period?
Worldwide, like,
Yeah.
no,
Geotrack.
drop
So
shipping
get
or
up every
whatever.
morning and box all your shirts up and ship them to Romania, because Romania is loving rap right now, or you
Right.
ship them to Poland because the Polish is loving rap. It's drill music. You know what I'm saying? That's what you have to.
That's a great concept. That concept, I see the
Technology,
vision. I see it.
technology will do it. Technology. Once again, I like to say, thinking about music. There's a reason why you always have a U.S. release and a European release. It's two separate rules. It's two separate releases, and the reason why is because the money you make there stays there. The money you make here stays here. Get you an account with Barclays Bank, that solves that issue right there, because Barclays.
Oh wow.
Barclays is on both sides of the poem, my brother. Listen, don't lose no sleep. Go on Fiverr, hook up with a group that a geo track, right? Specifically your demographic of people. Spend a couple $100, let them send it to you, man. Listen, and start promoting your items on Instagram in that area.
You see those gems he just gave
Come
you,
on,
UN
man.
stars?
Believe
I
me,
hear. I'm listening. I'm listening to him.
UN
you want
fades.
euros anyway. You want euros anyway, because right now they're probably a little bit more than dollars.
Absolutely.
So, but Sage, to get back with you really quick, community development block grant dollars, the Communities Foundation, it operates the same way like your Communities Foundation does in Atlanta. They would love to see you come. Start your promotion and your platform. Drive them in the city. If you see the city of whatever, 9 times out of 10, if it's outside the metro Atlanta, two things is going to happen. It's probably majority black. It probably has a black mayor. And 9 times out of 10, it's probably have a majority black commission. So it's going to be it's a softer transition than you just may think, right? You know, yeah, you're gonna come out there and see the rebel flags on the side of the highway, but
Right.
as you get to the city, you're gonna see your folk. And so,
Okay, you guys, I want to say just some quick, because we got 10 minutes, and
okay.
I want to get this highlight out about for you, Travis, because I want everyone that's like tune in tonight to know like what you're about. Like, I see that you were listed on a marketplace for the calling of field of your dreams,
Yes.
where you plan to install solar panels. Can you talk about that right quick?
So we talked about it earlier in the conversation. I think the thing that makes the difference between an economic and community development person and a great development person is being able to think outside the box. So one of the things that I'm attempting to do is help individuals, help seniors 62 years and older pay their utility bills, right?
That is good.
So one thing is that, so instead of going to the government and kind of asking them to help pay every single time, what I figured is we can build a solar farm. You build a solar farm, and that's what that Field of Dreams is we build a solar farm. We generate the electricity. we sell the electricity back to Georgia Power, and whatever income we generate from selling the power back to Georgia Power, we end up giving subsidies to low-income seniors.
Wow. Field
Mm,
of your
okay.
dreams.
Field of
That's
dreams.
huge.
Exactly.
Okay.
You see
That's
what I'm
what's
saying?
up.
So, it's thinking outside the box, but it's also thinking about just kind of all the resources, right? So, I got the idea from right now, if you put a solar panel on your house and all this kind of stuff, you can sell the energy back to the power company, reduce your bill, you know,
Wow.
all
So
that.
it's really deep. It's different levels.
Yeah, well, those are first world problems. Those are first world issues, right?
Okay.
So what I try to do is I always try to take first world solutions and make sure that I can give them to third world or second world problems, right? And
Mm-hmm.
those second and third world problems can be right around the corner in our own neighborhoods, right?
Mm-hmm.
So think about the fact that we can create a solar farm in a blighted neighborhood and sell the power back to the power company and start handing out subsidies on utilities with, single moms,
One
single
stop
dads,
shop, kind
or
of.
you know what I'm saying, our older seniors in our communities to kind of help do that. At the same time, we've created a our own power company, right? Because those
I
that can
see it.
pay, those that can pay. Those that can't, we're okay with that. We take care of them too. You see what I'm saying?
I
So,
like it.
so
I
that's
like
where that article
Okay.
came from, and that's where um, uh,
Congrats to all you. I
yeah,
see like your different articles and write
yeah,
ups. And
yeah.
I actually showed them with your video footage earlier. But I have a quick question even before I do a quick recap. And I apologize, you guys, but we're getting closer to 10. I want to make sure that even with my viewers, Travis, this is for you.
Yes.
If someone wanted to relocate to relocate and they are low income and they want to come to Brunswick, what type housing, how would they come to that area? What do they need to do? What do they need
Oh,
to research? The companies, or like whether it's Section 8 or just the low income, the housing?
so I would like to read. I would like to I guess to kind of refocus that question, right?
Okay, because that was a question I
Um,
had for you tonight from
if
someone that
you are
inboxed
if
me.
you are low income in your area and you want a better way of life, right?
Right.
And you want a job and you want a career and you want to change the way that you're currently living, I would suggest come here in that manner because it's always Section 8. It's always scale income based housing. We
Okay.
have that. We have that like every other city has. But
Okay.
I would rather you come here and take one of our $20, $25 an hour jobs working at Gulfstream,
You hear that, Hood Stars and Sage?
have some benefits. You see what I'm saying? Have a decent income. Of course, the prices of housing is lower here than it would be in the city.
It
You know what
is.
I'm saying?
Ooh.
And just have a quality of life, right? You can just so so I want you to kind of rethink that and say, you know what? I want a better quality of life for my kids. I want a better quality of life for myself. I want to go somewhere where I don't have to fight the traffic. I want to go somewhere. When you start thinking in that nature, then I would say, but to be honest with you,
No, I get it.
yeah,
And I'm glad. That's why I want to ask you. Like, I have people that inbox me questions that can't be here, and
yes,
this is things that they want to know. Hood Stars had some, people
Because
out in
I'm
his
trying to
area,
relocate myself.
so he wanted to know for
that's right.
other people that want to relocate. But the way that you gave the information, I appreciate that more because it's like, listen, you can still come here and start over, even though you're in a low income area in your state, but come here with the big dreams.
Right.
We're gonna welcome you, but come get this $25 an hour job, or come get this house, and because the opportunities are there. So that's what's important, to know that the resources are there.
Technology has allowed us to be anywhere, wherever we want to be. Back in the days, we all had to sit on a sound stage in a studio in order to make this happen. Now we can sit hundreds and thousands of miles away if we wanted to and make this happen, right? So let's let technology drive, what we want as far as a quality of life, right? Let's not give up on a quality of life. There isn't, and this is my personal thing, right? And it's not something I read in a book. It's not something that I'm
Is
just
your
trying.
perspective is your something personal,
Well, I'm
your
not trying to
opinion?
guinea pig you, right? Because you can, I mean, you can go on social media and everybody guinea pig and you want to sell you something. I'm not trying to sell you. But what I am trying to say, as long as you are not battling any serious health issues, you can start the hell over tomorrow. That's just,
Amen.
it's
Yes.
not going to be easy. It's not going to be, you know what I'm saying? But you can start over. You can. Faith.
I, I already know. I didn't start. Listen, I'm a advocate on hit the restart button.
Right,
I don't care. I'm not afraid how many times I got to do it over until
right,
I get it right.
right, right.
I'm big
And
on
I
that.
might just write my own book. You know what I'm saying?
You would have a lot to write
That's
about.
that's another thing I'm trying to do too. Like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, man. So the deal is this. When it comes to entrepreneurship and when it comes to the Black community, I would, if I could spread this message, and I'm gonna give you a quick story because I know we're about to close out.
Well, I
Um,
got one. I got one. After
okay,
you tell your quick story, I got one more thing for you. I have a segment at the end where I ask all of my guests to give their perspective on a celebrity's quote.
okay, cool.
So, but go ahead. I don't want you to forget your dialogue. Go ahead.
So if I can convince all of our entrepreneurs to start thinking about replacing income instead of blowing up, you would have a better journey, right? If I need to replace $60,000 a year with selling enough shirts to get 60 grand, because if you went and got a job, you got to get them folks 8 to 10 hours. And then you come and give your business what's left.
That's what I'm doing right now. So, hello.
Just go ahead and give your business those 8 to 10 hours and make that 60 grand and be okay as you build your business, right?
Yeah.
Because what you're really struggling with is, how do I pay the light bill and how do I print this shirt?
You.
You see what I'm saying?
That's like with me. I'm like,
That's the problem.
Yes.
So
I
Yeah.
want to live nice, and I'm like, do I just go ahead and do it? But then I be like, no, it's good
I,
over here.
I
I,
promise you, I promise you, I promise you, I promise you, it is a system that is in place that if you prove your numbers and if you prove your journey, no matter how small those numbers are, when you walk in and say, this is what I'm selling, this is what I'm doing, and they can see you have a profit margin and they understand that more money give to you means more money is, they're gonna give it to you. Always keep this in mind. Bankers are like car salesmen. Every month they got a quota to make. So they're not looking to tell you no. They're looking for the next best deal.
and
Because
how
if
to make
they
that
don't meet
work.
their quota, they lose their job.
It makes sense. Like a car salesman, they need to get their quarter in.
Listen,
They're trying to figure out how to make that application work. How can you?
that's it.
Yeah, it
That's it.
makes
So,
sense.
so I want to say, keep that in mind. Last thing is that make sure that you Google your city, your county economic development director, and look at whatever kind of pops up. They generally will list all the incentives and other things that they got.
And let's just do a quick recap on everything. Travis, let everyone know where they can find you at on Instagram and Hood Stars. You can do the same thing in Sage. And then I'm gonna come with the quick it's like a motivational clip, and it's a celebrity from a
You
celebrity.
know what's crazy? I don't have a professional. I guess you can find me, but I think it's still Stegall Lux. Is that what it is? STE. Yeah, yeah.
Well, I've been tagging you so they'll be able to see it. And the good thing
Okay,
is in my
cool.
link on YouTube where they can just go to you and
Yeah,
keep it
yeah,
and
yeah,
follow you because
yeah.
he's living the life out there. It's I'm gonna have to drive down there.
Come
I had
on.
talked to Sid and was like, Sid keeps saying we're gonna drive down there. So yeah,
Listen. I
I'm
got
gonna tell
plenty of space
Sage to
for it.
come drive with us and we come down there because that water look nice down there.
I got
I
plenty of
know
space.
when I move down there, man. I need you as a contact, man.
That's nothing. That's nothing. That listen. I'll be your contact where you at. I'll find my person that's up there with you and rock with it, man. So
See what I'm saying?
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So this is my
Okay.
thing for you. I'm gonna play this one. I don't know.
I
Some telling
appreciate
me.
you too, my dude.
Man, listen, I'm glad to be here to help, my brother.
Here
Thanks for
we go.
listening. Thanks for listening.
Being persistent, right? I think the only thing that separates people is passion. Having the ability to focus on something, to work on it, will allow you to work hard enough to be good enough at it. That's the Kobe Bryant run. He outworked those people. He a lot of people in the league perform according to their paycheck. So they're like, I ain't getting that money, let them do it.
Kobe was there every day.
Yeah, working like that. And that's what
practice.
separates him and makes him special to us in a different way, even after he's gone.
Yeah.
All right, Travis, what's your perspective on what 50 Cent he was just spitting those gems?
Man, what I'm saying is consistency, man. It's be consistent. Don't worry about dream, but be consistent.
Be consistent. Man.
Be consistent. I got a really good friend, and we had this conversation with the clothing brand. I think we might have had this conversation. Man, I'll say maybe I don't even think it was 10 years.
Was it Russ?
Nah. Oh, well, we always talking.
Yeah.
It was a brother of mine. He has his clothing line out now. You can follow his clothing line. It's a wonderful clothing line. Street Lotto.
I've seen that
Okay.
on Instagram
Oh, I
somewhere.
know you've seen it. I know you.
Yeah.
We had a conversation like me and this brother Hood Stars right now. And I said, hey, man, look, you trying to get rich or are you trying to make sure you get the bills paid? It was the exact same conversation. I said, I know you're in music. Do you care about selling music or do you care about making $20 a person? And he thought about it. He said, well, hell, I really care about $20 a person. And I said, well, why don't you start making T-shirts and give the music away for free?
Wow.
Let them buy the T-shirts. Now he has a bunch of lines and bunch of, things within the line, right? Mm-hmm. And so he started off with his fan base, right? He already has a fan base. So I would say the same thing to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to make that $20? Is that what you're trying to make, or $50, whatever the cost is? Is that what you're trying to do? If that's what you're trying to do, let's start with focusing on taking your fan base and selling them that. Give them something for free, and we can rock with it. Your book, your ebook, right? You know what I'm saying? So,
And ebooks are they're like a really big seller right now. It's like so many people dropping them. Sage, do you have any last remarks you would like to talk to Travis about before we close out the show?
I'm just giving you perspective on what he was saying. I kind of believe that if you work above and beyond your passion, not just for the paycheck, but your entire passion, that will
Hmm.
take you and exceed you to where you need to go. That's what I thought pretty much of what he was saying. And as far
Yeah,
as
with 50, he's awesome.
yeah,
I
I love
agree.
it. Him and Kevin Gates, they spill some real gems. As far as and we don't have enough time in the day for the questions that I need to ask him in
Well,
regards
no,
to
no, no.
spiritual matters.
If he go ahead and ask a question, if Travis got time, if not, because I know he has many appointments, I
Yeah,
don't mind letting the show
well, I
go
mean, it's
over.
2 o'clock at night now. Yeah.
I know he
right.
got.
Right. Look at this is my bedtime. But I myself personally, outside of being a counselor at Ada Atlantic, I am also a spiritualist. So I believe that there needs to be outlets where people can actually come, and not as in a religious aspect, but a spiritual aspect. Like these kids need to learn how to control their tempers. That's why we got people shooting up people and
Yes.
things of that nature. We
Yeah.
teach them geography, but we don't teach them self-control. So
Yeah.
my thing is to basically open up those doors to bring in, young and old to learn to harness their power, because our people's lost their power. We don't even protect our neighborhoods anymore, but we call ourselves gangbangers. That's not what the gangbangers I used to know, right? Because that young man that went in that supermarket wouldn't be able to get through them doors, because our gangbangers would have known you
Yeah.
can't get through here, bro. Where you going? So we need to take our power back. So how do we teach our people to harness our power so we won't, here go a couple of dollars, turn your eye.
That's
That's a
right.
good question.
Yeah.
We gotta fight back.
Yeah.
but we
And
have to do it spiritually now. It's not, this carnal world is not ours. So we have to do it spiritually, and that's where we go in and we have to harness our power. There's a whole different level of things. You see what I'm saying? And I want to open up those centers.
yeah, like so. I mean, I'm 100% with that. Um, I've always been one of those individuals that kind of thought that that type of thing need to be instituted in schools,
Mm-hmm.
right? Opposed to in-school suspension and all of these other forms of punishment, because it's like it's like having a virus, but we're always treating the symptoms of a sneeze or a cough, but not
Mm-hmm.
actually treating the virus, right? And
Right.
so it's easy for society to treat. In my perspective, it's always easier for society to treat the symptom and not the virus, right? And once
Oh,
again, I always like to remind our people, because we can help each other. We can do this without a
we
whole bunch of going across
Yeah,
the other side of the
just gotta
track.
stick together. Like,
Uh,
yeah,
Once again, these aren't their babies. These aren't
Right.
their kids. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So because they don't help us, so what? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
yeah,
You
Understood.
know, so and that will not change until they see our kids and their kids. You see what I'm saying? And
mm,
so
Right.
9 times out of 10, that just won't change. And so if it's us helping to create a program to
Mm-hmm.
launch whatever this is, that you have that can possibly help these kids and that can help these adults, right?
Right.
We just got to figure out how to do it. Um, I'm pretty sure there's a foundation that's already funded that's kind of waiting for your package to show up
Mm-hmm.
on their doorstep, whether it's the Creasy Foundation, the Ford Foundation. Um, yeah, we'll find it. Yeah.
that's dope. I like
Yeah.
that.
I just thought that
yeah.
was very important. We already born with PTSD. Okay. Every black was born with PTSD. So we just need to harness that. And I
That's right.
think that once we get to the source, we get our babies back and we'll get our elders back because we're losing respect for them. So we need to find a way. That's
I'm
pretty
with you.
much, yeah.
Well, everyone, I want to say, I want to do just a quick recap. I appreciate everyone coming on the platform tonight. You are tuned in to Unfiltered with Faith Adorne. We had a really great show tonight. Travis came and just dropped some gems in
It did.
regards to just the culture, how it influences entrepreneurship. He talked about housing, just the resources. And if you missed the live tonight, you can always go back and hit the rewind and just rewatch it again. And for my viewers that are always like concerned about starting your own podcast, like what I'm doing right now, and you're working
Mm,
a 9 to 5, and you're just maybe worried that it's not going to work or you're not getting the views, I want to say this: go to Anchor. Anchor FM is free. They give you a free platform, which is a one page, like a landing page, and it's a professional landing page. You can upload your pictures and put your synopsis there, your content. Um, Step out on faith. It doesn't make a difference. Like even like Sage, she's on the she's an online audience tonight. She's a podcaster, but she's also a counselor at a HIV clinic, or AIDS clinic. If you could blog about that, you could do weekly podcast episodes on just different um, issues there, or just topics, or just your journey working there. If you're a hairstylist, you can podcast and blog about that. Uh, Hood Stars is creating his where he has his clothing line. He can create his own journey and podcast about that. Just discussions, like just like how
yeah,
Travis just dropped some gems with him tonight to help him with his platform. Don't worry about you worrying about people not watching. And the reason I'm saying that to my viewers, y- just within 28 days, I had close to 10,000 people that came to my between my Facebook page. Whether you see a like, they were engaged on my page, and that's what makes a difference.
yeah,
So with me, I do what I do because I love it. It's not going to happen overnight. The people that's going to support you is going to probably be strangers that you don't know. But you have to, is that's true. But you have to be passionate. So if you want a podcast, step out on faith and just do it. First, you want to know, like, create, like, what's your concept? What is your podcast name? Once you figure out what your podcast name is, go to Anchor. It's free. They give you a free landing page, and you can start off small. And the cool thing is you can upload all of your audio from your cell phone. So you don't need a live studio. You can do it right from your cell phone. Heck, if you want to be on the road, podcasting and blogging about eating at different restaurants, you can podcast about that also. So other than that, Anchor FM is the spot to go to. My perspective is free. You don't have to worry about it, especially if you don't have the money to start a website right now or to pay a designer because they give you a landing page. Um, Submit your podcast. Create your podcast name. What you're going to talk about. Who's you're going to be your demographic. Step out on faith and just start. You can start creating your podcast. And other than that, I just want to say thank you for everyone tuning in tonight. We will be back here next Thursday, but the topic next week is the Unfiltered with Spicy Topics. You know, I have that segment once a month, so that's going to be where you bring your popcorn and your wine. It gets real spicy, you know. So we have fun doing that.
Next week.
Oh, it gets. Oh my gosh, I get like perspective, like just from men on relationships. You know, like the topic next week on Thursday is, what is it? Uh, Intimacy versus sex. It's a difference. So that's going to be our topic. Last month, I had a, life coach. She actually is a life coach. She was a sex coach and something else too, because she has like a, a great bio. But she also has a novelty store, Travis. So she came on and she was just talking about relationships and how. And the topic last month was in regards to how, like, some partners may be intimidated by the toys and stuff like that. So this next Thursday that's coming up, the following Thursday, we're gonna have a really great show. So we're gonna be right here, the same place at 9 o'clock, just a whole different segment. Bring your wine and your popcorn, your questions, because it's gonna get real spicy. We got a couple different naughty topics, and we're also going to talk about the things that men want. And I didn't say boys, I said men. What men and women want out of a relationship. So that's also going to be two of the topics. And then the third topic, which is the main topic, intimacy and sex aren't the same. So we're going to speak on it and talk about it. Other than that, I had great guests tonight. Travis Stegall, thank you for coming by, dropping
Thank
some
you.
gems. I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Look, thank
Appreciate you too, man.
Hood
Appreciate you
Stars
too,
up in
man.
the house. Thank you. We have Sage Lou. And listen, you guys, podcasters, follow Sage. Sage, where can they follow you at? Because you have your own podcast once a week on Wednesdays. Speak on it
Right.
right quick.
Right. So you can follow me at Instagram at Sage Yukio. That's YKIYO. Blue, Marie Blue. It's very long, but if you see, put it on Sage U after that, you'll see it's a red. I have horns for Taurus because I'm a Taurus. So you'll see that. It's a white face with my face with horns on it. You can also tune in on Divine Timing on the platform of Yale Radiocast.com. That's YALE Radiocast.com. So I'm there. If you can get on Facebook, Sage Marie Blue. Everything is Sage Marie Blue.
Hey,
So, and it's BLEU.
gotta
Sakwase.
be different. Shots is like different. Well, you guys, I also want to thank my platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. And I'm live on Instagram also. I appreciate my platforms. You give me an opportunity to just impact. If I reach one person, that's all that makes a difference to me, because I do it because I love it. And I'll be
Yeah.
back here next Thursday. Um, See you guys. Thank you for tuning in to Unfiltered with Faith Adorne. You guys can stay if y'all want. I'm just closing out and then we can speak. Thank you guys for tuning in to Unfiltered with Faith Adorne. See you next Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you for watching Unfiltered with Faith Adorne tonight, and we hope you enjoyed the episode.
Check back every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time for new content, resources, and interviews. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for your views, so we appreciate you watching. Also, quick disclaimer, all of our guests have an opportunity to voice their opinion and give their perspectives on all of our topics. It's not saying it's right, it's not saying it's wrong, but we respect everybody's opinion. And the cool thing is you can join in with the conversation, regardless where you are around the world. If you would like to be a part of our online audience for any of our upcoming topics, send us an email. Are you an entrepreneur, an artist, a talent, or CEO? Do you have a testimony you would like to share? Or how about submitting an unfiltered spicy topic? Or what about a crazy confession? Send us an email at unfilteredwithfaithadorneshow@gmail.com. Look at the video. There's the email address right there. Unfilteredwithfaithadorneshow@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you. Check back every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. We stream live. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram. And subscribe to our YouTube channel, you guys. You will never miss a video at Unfiltered with Faith Adorne. See you soon. Enjoy your weekend. Thanks for watching.